Hey, back for more punishment, huh? What did you not do the dishes right or something? Because your mom's making you come back to these videos? What the heck's going on here? Do the dishes! Just kidding. All right, ready for some decimal place stuff today? This can get confusing if you're not used to messing with them, but we'll do something, to make it less confusing if this is something you've done before and kind of been struggled a little bit with. Let's look at these digits again. In your brain, when you look at this, and you don't even think about this anymore. Probably you don't struggle with it and have to analyze it. When kids are learning how to read, like you were a little kid learning how to read, you had to sit there and go, okay, B says buh, A says ah, and you had to put it together. And then you were slow at it, and same thing here. But at this point, you look at that number, no doubt, and you say, oh, that's 7,000s, that's 300s, that's 4 tens, and that's 6 ones, and you got it. So that's all you need to go. The 7 is worth 7,000. The 3 is worth 300. The 4 is worth 40, and the 6 is worth 6. Right? Okay. How about this one? This red digit. Now that's weird. It's on the other side of the decimal point. You're assuming there's a decimal point right here. Okay. Now this is you need to make sure you get this down. All right. When we go to the right, we read this 7,346. We see a decimal, we say, and boom. All right? Now this, we're going to that's tenths. In other words, ignore the 5 and the 2 right now. If you had this number right here, this would be 7,346 and 8 tenths. That's 80%, right? So 0.8 is like 80%. Same thing. 8 tenths. This is the hundred. These are all ths instead of just hundreds. Notice those are THS, not just plural. So you would read this if you had this numeral 7,346 and this part right here would be 85 hundredths. 85 parts out of 100, 85%. This, as you no doubt know or have guessed, is thousandths. Thousandths. There you go. Okay. So if you had to read this entire number, which we're going to, 7,346 and 852 thousandths at the end. All right. These are a big pain in the rear to write. So just, we'll write for several weeks. We'll write them and you're going, oh, this takes so long to write, but it'll be over with in a month or two. So don't worry about it. All right. Just like the flu. All right. So that's how we're going to read this. And of course, you could, if you guessed, what if we put a 7 there? We have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. What would this next number represent? You can see each time you're just multiplying by 10. So this would be 10 thousandths. We could say, if we read this number with the 7, it would be 8,527 10 thousandths. And that's it. If I put a 3 there, I'm sure you could guess that's 100 thousandths. 85,273 hundred thousandths. Gets to be a big pain then. All right, we'll work with this slow at first. All right. This is a gas pump price, and this is an example of one of these in real life. This is 29 cents. Now, a thousandth of a cent is called a mil. That word mil in Latin means thousand, like millennium. So if you're paying for gas, you're not just paying $3.29. You're paying $3.29 and then 9 tenths more cents. In other words, you're paying $3. And if you had to write this number out where the 9 wasn't so small, read that for me. You would say for each gallon of gas, you pay $3 or just 3 and, that's what that means, 3 and 299 tenths, hundredths, thousandths, right? 299 thousandths. That's how much you're paying. It's kind of a weird thing. Gas pumps, you pay that price. But that's a practical example of that. Okay, let's look at this. Which digit in this number is in the hundredths place? So you just go, that's the and this, if you cover up the 1, pretend like it's not there, it's 678 and 9 tenths, right? Well, this is 678 and 91 hundredths. So 91 hundredths. This is the hundredths place. That's the tenths place. If you didn't have a 1, that would just be 678 and 9 tenths, or 678.9. This is 678.91. That means that's 91 parts out of 100. All right, and the 1 is in the hundredths place. How about this one? The place value of the 3 in 42.31. Well, this place value, it means, pretend there is no 1. If you just had the 3, it'd be 42.3, and that would be, you would say that's 42.3, 42 and 3 tenths, right? 3.3 is 3 out of 10. The 1 is the hundredths place. So you would read this whole number, 42 and 31 hundredths, right? 31 parts out of 100. The 3 is just in the tenths place. If you just had that number at the bottom, that means 42 and 3 tenths. That's all there is to it. Okay. All right. Do the practice set. These, I'm going to just do them all at once and then, unpause it. So go ahead and pause it and try all of them and see how you get. Okay. I'm assuming you've paused it and finished. Here we go. The 5 is the thousandths, right? It's 3 tenths, 4 hundredths, 5 thousandths is what that is. All right. Which digit's in the tenths place? That's a 4. 0.0123. 0.123. Which one's the thousandths place? That's the tenths. That's the hundredths. That's thousandths. That's 10 thousandths. So that is, they're asking about thousandths. 50.375. Of course, that's going to be the ones. Hundredth of a dollar, of course, is a cent. The thousandth of a dollar is called a mil. 1,000 in Latin is mil. So anyway, okay. Well, listen, have a good time with those. I hope you're getting some of these better, and make sure you use your solutions manual. Take a deep breath. Go run around outside. Walk up down the stairs or walk around your house or something like that. If you live on the 50th floor, don't try to walk around the house outside. That can be fatal. All right, have a good time doing these problems, and I'll see you next time.